has a different vibe to it.
Yeah, like it disappears.
It just disappears. It's like the back seat of a bus, you know, that some old vibe, you know? Away from everything, away from the main street.
Yeah, you don't see the crowd coming through here.
Yeah, to really look, really.
You guys had
And I think it was pronounced Meniet, or Menieta. I don't know the original pronunciation, but it meant devil's water.
Wow. So that
And,
means
so the slaves downtown, when they would become free, they will come up to, as they will migrate north, this was a stream of water. And they would camp out and build their homes because of the water, catching fish and all that. And other people would say, well, that's, you know,
look up.
it's like a bad neighborhood, right? It was not like a bad neighborhood. So they put I noticed that all the plays that create controversy, all the plays that raise question and eyebrows and maybe might be offending, come to this theater. So I felt, well, we're Jam on the Groove. We should have had a first choice theater, prime theater, rather than a theater that would take chance. Well, you know what? It was the first of its kind, right? Look, the standing ceremony, the gay marriage play. This is what Jam on the Groove originally was. I got a picture of me standing there when they had the credits up. It was awesome, man.
And what year did you guys?
This was 1995. 1995. It was awesome because the media would stop right here in the front. Cars would pull up this way, and people would just be excited. And it's good to see, you know, American white kids coming to the theater from the advertisements. And then the advertisements weren't like on major stations. They were being promoted like on Light FM. Like Light FM, they don't listen to banging beats and stuff. So it was weird. It was just, okay, why would they promote this on Light FM?
And what was the purpose, the initial purpose for Jam on the Groove?
You know, Wiggles in '88 started gathering the guys together with Locatron John, Charlie, and a few guys, Adesla. Everybody was together, and Louis New Wave brought me in. Met everybody. I was excited, and he was sharing with us, man, about you know, this culture being on that level, being on Broadway, and everybody agreed. And then we were talking about the 4 elements of hip hop, and everybody was agreeing. It's like, yeah, you know. So it took 8 years. I had left to work, of course. You know, my mom was sick, but they kept going, and they did So What Happens Now, and then they brought in Legs and Kenny, and it made the b-boy nice because they brought that flavor, you know. And Legs, it was cool because they brought that rock steady vibe, you know. I came back and I was an understudy for them. It was good. So I got to learn a lot of different parts, work and perform. But it was so crazy. It just felt real weird, man. And I think, you know, what was going on is that the show, a lot of people didn't want to see it succeed. You know, Blacks and Latinos, hip-hop musical. Hip-hop was already controversial back then with the Biggie Smalls and Tupac and all those things going on, or whatever it was, you know, at that time. So this musical was kind of threatening, you know, to Broadway. You know what I mean? They had Bring the Noise, Bring the Funk, and that made it to Broadway. Jam on the Groove should have been on Broadway because they had amazing pieces. I noticed that the Groove Blues has similar pieces to Jam on the Groove, like the whole mirror dance. Kenny and Flowmaster used to do that. Things like that, you know. But it was iconic. It's the first of its kind.
Were you the only one you think that, you know, felt that negative energy or that negative aura around the situation?
No, because the guys would talk about it because, you know, we would wonder, like sometimes on opening nights, some opening nights, we would see some people sleeping next to a big speaker. And like, come on, that's impossible. How would you be asleep next to a big speaker? So we felt people were paid to sit in the audience and make it seem like it was a boring show when it wasn't. Because when we would come out, people were dancing in the lobby and going crazy for autographs. So, you know, we just felt like they just being set up, fed to be killed, you know? Like sometimes I think that a company will sign a contract just to keep you, because you might be a problem. And it won't be really from the heart. They don't want you, they just want to run you out, you know? And those are the type of things that we were experiencing, you know? The guys would tell you more. My thing in my research is that with this, while the slaves would come here, and I feel like, oh my God. So if the slaves came up this way, did they know this? Was this on purpose? Because we felt like we're being parked on the slave street, you know? And that's how I felt. Am I on a slave street? And then Washington Square Park, obviously the slaves would dance there too. And that's what raised eyebrows for me, you know? The guys got a lot of things they went through that they could tell you themselves, like Kenny and Fable and stuff. But for me, that's what it was. And I felt real, I didn't feel easy being in the show. It just felt like something wasn't right, you know? It just felt weird, you know? But
what do you think that it would have took for you guys to be able to keep going, to keep producing, you know, the quality that you were producing? And do you think that if you were to come back together now, do you think it would have the same effect? Because, you know, now dance is all over. Now it's on TV. Now everything's all accepted. Do you think that if an idea was brought back to life like this, do you think that it would be successful?
Yeah. I think that if the original Jam on the Groove would come back, I think the whole New York City and everyone around the world would be shocked and want to come see it. Because, you know, everyone's learned a lot. They're going to bring better to the table, you know? They will definitely bring in an improved state of mind, creativity. Everyone's became reputable. People have reputations that have, you know, grown from. They've made careers out of this since Jam on the Groove.
Why do you think it's been such a lost art that, you know, the dancers and the acting has strayed away? Like, you know, dancers have so many other talents. Why do you think those other talents are not ever really broadcast? Do you think that's the dancer's fault, or do you think that's mainstream media's fault?
Well, first of all, yeah, it is a dancer, because the dancer could fight for their rights. You know, but, you know, when you make something real tough for someone, a lot of people give up. You know, it's hard for us, as you know, blacks and Latinos, we always have to fight. We're stereotyped. You know, you got to play a drug dealer, you got to play a homeless guy, you got to play that kind of character. And this, you know, I know Hollywood is opening up and giving us more roles, but we still have to fight for that respect. You know, it's always been a dream to have a black president. It's not a dream anymore; it's reality. So to have blacks and Latinos as heroes, we need to keep working hard. It's not over. And I think that the next generation they become comfortable, but it's not over. You don't have that breaker, b-boy, popper, or locker that can act like Sammy Davis or Greg Grant. You do, they're out there, but they need to step up. And they need to fight for it and claim that, and go forward, you know? And then that'll establish that, opening up doors for other people, you know?
Why do you think that is vital that this information gets out about this particular area, about Washington Park? Why do you feel that is vital to all the up-and-comer and younger dancers? And both, why do you guys feel that knowing about this era, this area, you know, why do you think that it's so important that the youth know about this, and what can they use this knowledge to do to better their careers, or just better their perspective on the culture?
I think that the research, ask questions why, how would it work? Is this really a success plan? And to understand business. We didn't know any better. The guys didn't know any better like they know now. And I think we would have done things different. Everybody would have done things different if everybody would understand the way things go. But it's, you know, it took them 8 years, and it was successful anyway. Despite it all, Jam on the Groove is the first hip-hop musical. It's historical. So they did do well with that, you know, and it inspired a lot of people to come back. So when kids study that, they're gonna go right to Jam on the Groove and see that opened the door for everyone else. I say Jam on the Groove is the reason. No, B-Boy is the reason, came back because of Jam on the Groove. Jam on the Groove was that catapulting everyone else. The Groove did that. Jam on the Groove opened up the doors for everyone else to be encouraged and say, hey, we can do it. You know, thanks to all the people that were involved, like Wiggles, Crazy Legs, Fable, Kenny, Adesla, Earthquake, all those guys that were in Jam on the Groove did it, man. They did something that now the whole entire world is inspired by.
Well, for me, it's like I'm from a different generation, like from what Bam just finished saying. But like he says, research is always the most important part of it. You go into your history, just go research and find out who your dancers were back then, who are the people that brought it out. That's the people that you got to look out for, and these are the people that trying to bring it back to you. So, you know, all the youth that we are trying to help out is for them to learn about our history. That's the way we bringing it out.